Okay, we'd like to wish everyone a warm welcome. Today is Sunday, and it's February the 14th of 2021. My name is Jonathan Jones. I'll be your host and moderator for this afternoon. My co-host is Alfreda Strong. Alfreda and I launched this weekly conference call discussion in consort with the Healthcare Support Association of America. We try to make it clear that this organization is a not-for-profit organization, but we do make recommendations that will profit us either individually or collectively in some way, because we believe that directing folks' attention to simple solutions to health care issues is important. And we're not tied to any one particular brand or any one particular product. If you have questions and we think that something at a health food store is going to help you, we will just simply tell you what we believe is going to be of benefit to you. So just know that the Healthcare Support Association of America is loyal to you, our listeners, and our objective is to make sure that you have access to things that you can benefit from. The information being presented here has not been evaluated by the FDA, and nothing that's said here is intended to be a substitute for a visit to your primary healthcare physician. In fact, we highly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust before you make a decision about taking action for your health and your well-being. The testimonials that you'll hear are anecdotal. They may or may not reflect what could happen to you. Results are often atypical because you don't know the clinical circumstances surrounding what happens to someone when they take a vitamin or nutritional supplement. Only the United States government can declare something to be a treatment or cure for disease. So nothing that we're saying here is intended to be a recommendation as a treatment or cure for a disease state. We're providing this information for educational purposes only. Okay, so our discussion today is going to center around the immune system and the gut. Now, there's a gut-brain connection that has been talked about by some professionals, but most of us don't know very much about that connection between the gut and the brain. So we're going to try to close that gap just a little bit and make you a little bit more aware of how important it is that you get your gut in order and have it working properly. The image that you see here is the inner organs that our gut organs, basically. And we tend to take them for granted. Most of the time, all we care about is whether or not our belly is big or not, and we're concerned about the cosmetic aspects of it, and very little thought often goes into how it actually functions and what happens inside our gut until it's not working quite right. Now, you have a stomach ache, and then you'll want to know everything about it, but or have something not quite going well, and you'll want to know all about it. And that's what drove my wife and I down this path, was because we had found one of the best immune system products on the planet. But Joanna, that's my wife, was having trouble with it. She was not only having trouble with the product itself, she was having trouble digesting it. And then in time, no matter how much she took, it's a bonded cysteine molecule, undenatured whey. And no matter how much she took, but which by the way is designed to elevate glutathione levels, and the vast majority of people, that's exactly what it did. But for her, she was developing an allergy to it. So not only was it not helping her immune system, she was becoming allergic to the product itself. So something was really going wrong inside her gut. My mother-in-law would swallow some of the most harmless of things, and her gut would feel like she had rocks in it. The excruciating pain that I would see this woman in was just terrible to watch. Um, a lot of that is centered around or connected to what we eat, and we often don't think about how what we eat can create a problem for us. Some people, of course, bring problems on themselves through their lifestyle choices. Say the person who goes out and decides to smoke cigarettes because some advertisement said that it was cool or chic to do so. And back once upon a time in television, it was very much promoted until it became very, very clear that smoking cigarettes could kill you. And now they have to put that on the side of the packages. Not that it could be harmful to your health, but it could kill you. So, and there's still people who will choose to go down that road. They can expect to have a problem. A person who abuses something like drugs or alcohol, they would expect to have some kind of a health problem. But what about you and I? If we choose to eat healthy foods, we try to make good choices. We don't engage in lifestyle choices that would be considered harmful. Would you expect to have digestive problems just from the food that you eat? Most wouldn't. Most would not expect that to be the case at all. In fact, it's the last place that most of us would look is in the actual food that we're eating. But wake up a little bit and recognize that there are components in the food that we eat that can cause serious problems. Now you're saying to yourself, why am I showing you a picture of 3 bottles of Roundup when we're talking about food? Well, the reason is because now it's becoming more and more evident that this weed killer is being found in our food. This particular article that you're looking at right now is where a jury linked Roundup with cancer. Now, they awarded somewhere in the area of $1 billion in damages to this one particular couple who made claims that this weed killer caused their cancers. Now, Monsanto and Bayer took them to court on appeal, and they got the $2 billion award reduced to about 380 some million dollars. But try to wrap your mind around that. A jury determined that the damages for this one couple warranted a $2 billion award that was reduced to just under $400 million in damages because of the connection to their cancer and Roundup. Well, what were they doing? Were they putting the Roundup in the swimming pool? Were they swimming in it? Were they bathing in it? Well, what was the case? Well, you have to read the articles to find out for yourself. But now they have found out that it's in the food. There's been studies that have been done that shows that Roundup has been found in about 80% of all grains, including cereals, granola bars, uh, Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios were the worst offenders. So, and Quaker Oats, oatmeal, you eat oatmeal because it's good for your cholesterol. They found Roundup in it also. So there is just an enormous amount of foods that have weed killer in it. Now, back up to the previous slide. A jury awarded $2 billion in damages because this weed killer was connected to a couple's cancer. They know that cancer is on the rise as a result of this horrible toxin found in the food. How does it get there? Just briefly to tell you how it gets there, we've all heard of genetically modified organisms or genetically modified foods, GMOs. The way that GMOs work is big agri and the pharmaceutical or chemical companies decided that they wanted to try to get more yield from a piece of land. So to get more yield from a piece of land, they re-engineered the grains. Let's just say wheat, for example, wheat and corn. They re-engineered it so it would produce a larger yield of crop in a smaller amount of space. Then they also engineered it so that the crop itself would be a pesticide. So if this little weevil or this little bug comes along and eats the oat or eats the corn, that process by itself will kill the pest. So that's another way that they genetically re-engineered it. So produce more and then turn the plant itself into a pesticide. And then the third way that they would do it is they would make the plant, the yield, the crop, right? The crop that you wanted, the corn, the wheat, or the oat, or whatever it is, make it so that it was no longer susceptible to weed killer. So that means that instead of having to send out, 500 or 1,000, thousands of migrant workers into the field to pull weeds, to control the weeds, all they have to do is just fly over the crop with an airplane and spray a weed killer on the plant. So do a test. Go to the store and buy one of those gallons of Roundup, big bottle, put it in a clear bottle, clear jar, a big old clear jar, something large, quart jar, whatever size you can get. Drop an ear of corn in that Roundup. This herbicide won't destroy that corn because it's been genetically re-engineered not to be damaged by the Roundup. So the airplanes could fly over the fields, spray Roundup, and then the plants could just grow. It would only kill the weeds. It wouldn't kill the crop. Now, common sense would tell most people that the roots of that plant still go into the ground. And when you water the field after that, the roots are still going to absorb whatever's in the soil. Roundup is in the soil. Where is that going to go? Into the plant. So after the plant is processed and goes through the whole processing process, getting rid of all the green stuff, the stuff that's not sold, and processed into little flakes or whatever, packaged into a box and sold to you so that your little girl can pour it into a bowl with some milk and eat it up. Somehow or another, miraculously, they want to make the claim that there's no Roundup in that bowl of Cheerios that child is consuming. Now, rest assured that the EPA assures you that there's not enough Roundup in there to do any harm, that the amount of Roundup is below acceptable levels, that it's safe. My question to you is, how much Roundup do you think is safe to drink or to eat? How much do you think is okay? So anyway, you can decide if you think any amount of Roundup is safe. And here's what it's linked to. This is just a short list of the different consequences of putting Roundup in your body can cause. Most of the things on this list, most of us may or may not know anything about, may have never heard anything about. I'm just going to identify one or two of them just for the sake of our discussion here. Here's one that you want to pay attention to. This particular component is important in gut bacteria. So a particular pathway in the gut is blocked or inhibited. So your good gut bacteria now has a problem because of glyphosate. Then here's another one that you want to pay attention to, the very next one, interfering with the function of cytochrome P450 enzymes. It's required for activation of vitamin D and the creation of nitric oxide. Activation of vitamin D. Why is it that doctors are being forced to supplement our diet now? Doctors are prescribing vitamin D more and more now. Most people are being determined to be vitamin D deficient. I wonder why. And it says it has to do with the creation of nitric oxide. If a person has a heart condition, what is it that a doctor will give to his patient to slow down the chances of getting a heart attack if something is going wrong? Yeah, a little nitric oxide tablet to make the veins more supple. So if the body is not making enough nitric oxide, do you think that there might be some connection to atherosclerosis, hardening of the coronary arteries? I'm not a doctor, so I can't really say, but I do know that nitric oxide is extremely important. And by the way, nitric oxide, extremely important when it comes to blood pressure, because if your coronary arteries are harder, it's more difficult for the heart to pump blood through hardened arteries. So more flexible and supple arteries and veins is an important part of keeping blood pressure under control. Then notice this, chelating of minerals. So that's important, especially when you think in terms of something like a product like microdaily or some micronutrient. So if your body has trouble with using the minerals and vitamins that's in your body and processing it so that your body absorbs it properly, then of course you would not get the benefits from any kind of supplement that you're ingesting. Then, excuse me. Then here's another interesting one as far as gut health is concerned. Disrupting your microbiome by acting as an antibiotic. So glyphosate, when ingested, can kill bacteria in your gut. If it's killing bacteria in your gut, acting like an antibiotic, it's indiscriminate as to how it kills. Antibiotics are very indiscriminate as to how and what bacteria they kill in your gut. They just kill everything off. So now we're talking about, in addition to the overuse of antibiotics, just the normal grains and food that we eat is also doing damage and destroying gut bacteria. And do you notice that the very next one after that I almost circled along with it, impairing methylation pathways? Remember the product that Dr. Prasad has produced called MicroDaily MTHFR? It methylates folic acid and other components. Because of its methylating power, that's the reason why Dr. Prasad produced it. So if you're wondering why we're having problems methylating it or absorbing it, it could be because you happen to be spending too much time eating weed killer. So if you cut down on your weed killer going in your diet, you'd have a better chance of absorbing the product. You could go back to the MicroDaily regular instead of being on the MicroDaily MTHFR. So it's because you got too much weed killer in your body, you're not methylating the products properly. So, and don't take my word for this, that this is all happening. This has all been in the news.
New study claims a chemical link to cancer has been found in some popular oat-based breakfast foods. The nonprofit Environmental Working Group says that 26 samples contained unsafe levels of a popular weed killer, but the companies who make the cereals dispute the findings. Anna Werner has the story.
There's really no reason consumers should have to worry about whether they're getting a dose of glyphosate with their breakfast every morning.
That was the Environmental Working Group's Scott Faber in August, talking about a study his group commissioned that found the weed killer glyphosate in dozens of breakfast products.
We're very concerned that consumers are eating more glyphosate than they know.
Now, a second round of testing shows 28 more samples analyzed contain glyphosate residues, 10 samples from General Mills Cheerios products, and 18 samples from Quaker brand products ranging from instant oatmeal to snack bars. 26 of the samples came back with residue levels higher than what the group believes is safe for children.
So what does it mean for you that glyphosate residues are found in such a wide range of products? Well, the Environmental Working Group says glyphosate shouldn't be there, that it may not be safe for your health. Manufacturers look at it differently.
General Mills says trace amounts of pesticides are found in the majority of food we all eat, and the company follows the very strict rules set by the FDA and EPA, who determine the safe levels for food products. Quaker told us that any minimal levels of glyphosate that may remain in finished products are significantly below regulatory limits and well within compliance of the safety standards. But the World Health Organization says glyphosate is a probable carcinogen in humans, and the state of California lists it as a chemical known to the state to cause cancer.
I find the results of this report concerning.
Dr. Philip Landrigan, a pediatrician and one of the world's experts on children's environmental health, advises parents to move away from brands containing glyphosate and buy organic products for their children that do not contain the chemical.
Children are exquisitely vulnerable to toxic chemicals such as glyphosate. Even a tiny dose that would probably be harmless to an adult carries much greater risk for a child.
Monsanto, which sells products containing glyphosate, says the study is misleading. It says the chemical is safe and does not cause cancer, and that adults would have to eat huge quantities of these foods every day to exceed the EPA's limit for glyphosate exposure. General Mills says food safety is a top priority, and Quaker stands by its products. Anna Werner, CBS News, New York.
Well, so there you have it. You can decide for yourself whether you whether there's a safe amount of glyphosate, amount that you think is okay, to ingest. The decision is yours as to whether or not you think it's okay. But just know this, that the one thing that you're going to want to do is to restore your gut microbiome and microbiota. Now, it's very technical, a lot of details as to how the gut biome works. But just know this, that the amount of bacteria in your gut really makes us more bacteria than human. There's a massive amount of it. If it's out of balance, that's where we have problems. If you don't have enough probiotic in your gut, you can't absorb anything. If you have too much gluten in your gut, it reduces the nutrition absorption surface area of the gut. And that can create serious problems as far as your ability to absorb nutrition. So even if you are okay when it comes to, let's say, eating some certain foods and you're not having problems, you could actually not be getting the most benefit from what you're eating. But we're getting more and more calls lately from people who are having trouble. They will take something like Micro Daily and say that it's causing them to have severe gastrointestinal problems. And one or two people have said that they were just throwing up violently, or they had this other problem, just all kinds of things going on. That's a rare, rare, rare thing. But those are the kinds of calls I've been getting over the past few weeks or so. In just about every single case, it's linked back to some imbalance in their gut microbiome. So what do you do for your gut microbiome? Do you just take more Micro Daily? No. You have to do something else. So there's other steps that you can do that would benefit you. One of the best things that I found when my wife was having this problem, when my mother-in-law was having these kinds of problems, I put them on ImmuneRx. It's a high-quality bovine colostrum. Now, what is bovine colostrum? Bovine colostrum is the very first food that we were created to ingest. It's the first milk produced by a mother mammal. Humans receive 50% of their immune system programming code from the colostrum from their mother. Cows receive 100% of their programming code from their mother, the mother cow. And it's very interesting. The immune system programming code for both is almost identical. So if you consume bovine colostrum, it's almost like you're completely resetting your entire immune system, because, by the way, 80% of the immune system is in the gut. 80% of the immune system is in the gut. So when you consume bovine colostrum, you also, besides resetting your immune system programming code, you're also sealing up those microscopic leaks, because another thing that those GMOs do is cause intestinal permeability. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Most have heard of leaky gut syndrome, but leaky gut syndrome and intestinal permeability are right along the same line. So remember I told you that the GMO, the way that they genetically modified one of the ways that they genetically modified the crop is that they would turn the crop itself into a pesticide. Remember that part? So what happens is that the corn, the plant itself, punches tiny holes inside the little critter. So if there's an insect that's going to be eating the plant, it turns on these microscopic little hole punchers and punches holes inside the little insect, and it literally dies from the inside out because it's got all these holes punching in it. They say that that process does not take place inside humans. So my question to you is, then why is there an increase of intestinal permeability when the more people eat these genetically modified foods? Okay, so anyway, colostrum seals those holes. It helps to get rid of intestinal permeability. So I know that because that's what turns out my wife's problem was. So Joanna's problem was all linked to intestinal permeability. That was her main problem. She was allergic to everything. I mean, there was when we had tests done, there was a stat like 50 pages of things that she was allergic to. It was just such a small amount of things that she was allowed to eat. But after we used the bovine colostrum, her gut thickened up, her gut biome restored. We put good probiotics in her gut. We did things to lower the bad bacteria and promote the good bacteria, which is the colostrum. Plugged up all the holes. We used the ImmuneRx spray, which totally reset her immune system. After about 90 days, she can eat anything she wants now. She has no problems with coughing or any gastrointestinal discomfort from foods. So that's the number one thing that you can do to restore your gut microbiome and microbiota is bovine colostrum. The best one that I found is ImmuneRx. That's available at amerixbio.com, AMERXBIO.com, amerixbio.com. The spray and the powder, the two together is great. The spray, by the way, is just good for any kind of colds, flus, whatever. But the powder, you take that with your meals. Just before every meal on an empty stomach, before your meals, in between meals is the best. And if a person's having constipation, it'll take care of that. If a person's having diarrhea, it reverses that. So whatever imbalance is taking place in the gut, bovine colostrum, ImmuneRx, the best one on the market. The ones that after searching and testing a lot of them turned out to be just powdered milk. I ordered one from New Zealand, claimed to be the highest quality, purest colostrum in the world. When I got it, it tasted like sugar because it was loaded with sugar and it was nothing but powdered milk. It had about 10% colostrum in it. ImmuneRx, 100% quality, highest quality colostrum that I've been able to find so far. It's the best one. That's why it's the only brand that we carry. Then the next thing you want to do is find yourself a high quality probiotic. So you got to restore, because remember, the GMOs have been destroying bacteria in your gut. What probiotic should you be getting? Just find a good one. I think the one that we've been using is, I think it's called Garden of Life. You can get it on Amazon, about 20 bucks. Just pick the one that you like, but you want to put 50 billion CFUs in your stomach every day. Okay, so 50 billion, not 10 billion, not 150 billion, about 50 billion per day is the correct amount. 50 billion CFUs, okay? So they do make a raw one, a raw organic one that's good for colon health. That's a good one. We've been using that one lately. My mother-in-law has irritable bowel syndrome, and she's just doing wonderful. She never thought she'd have a regular bowel movements, by the way. Hate to be shifting over to that discussion, but she was having bowel movements like once or twice a week. You know, when I told her that she's going to be having 3 bowel movements a day, she looked at me and laughed hysterically. She's not laughing anymore. So probiotics and ImmuneRx helped her, and now she can absorb microdaily. Now she can absorb the nutrition that we put in her stomach. Now her body's not fighting it and resisting it. She benefits from it all the more. So just like you will. So she does a lot better with those kinds of things. And you might want, like I said, cut gluten out of your diet. Gluten is more like a paste. It coats the lining of your stomach. So go as gluten-free as you can. There's a lot of gluten-free options out there that you can use. Okay, so those are the three main things that you'll want to do if you want to restore your gut biome. And once you've done that, you'll be able to benefit to the full from what Dr. Prasad has done. And this is where our discussion kind of comes full circle, because this is all about being able to benefit from the phenomenal research that this man has done. Dr. Kedar Prasad, world-renowned scientist and researcher, published more than 250 articles, authored more than 31 books, former member of the Nobel Peace Prize nominating committee. Dr. Prasad has formulated the best micronutrient on the face of the earth, in my opinion. I have not found anything better than what he has formulated as far as nutrition is concerned. My favorite thing that he did was formulating this and getting a patent for the treatment of diabetes mellitus. So that's a major health problem for most people. So I repeat again, go as organic as you can and as GMO free as you can. Nearly impossible to do it. And by the way, if you're trying to figure out whether that you're buying an apple that's organic or not, there's a little sticker on the fruit that you buy. Okay, you ever see those little stickers? And you can do the research on. I forget what that label is called, but if it begins with a 4, it's conventional, which means it's probably loaded with pesticides and genetically modified. If it begins with a 9, it's organic. So just look it up. Google it, sticker on fruit, and they'll just give a full explanation as to what to look for and how you can tell that you're buying something that's organic versus something that's conventionally grown. And nowadays, they've actually started sneaking in things that were hydroponically grown that could have chemicals, could have pesticides in it, could even be genetically modified, but they're allowed to call it organic because it was hydroponically grown. So they're sneaky. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way that it is right now. But Dr. Prasad's product is outstanding. It can overcome many of the problems that we're having, even though we deal with these pesticides in our body. One of the ways that it will help with that is by binding to toxins like pesticides and removing it from the body as waste. So this is one of the best detoxifying agents in the world, in my opinion. This one here is the Micro Daily Regular. It says with CoQ10, but listen to me carefully, folks. All of the Micro Daily products, every one of the Micro Daily products, including Hydro, has CoQ10. So I've recommended that they change that label to Micro Daily Original. So hopefully they'll be doing that in the future, so it's not so confusing, because people think that that's CoQ10, a CoQ10 product exclusively in that one versus the others, and it's simply not true. It's misleading. It's confusing. So just consider that to be Micro Daily Original. And when you look at the label, it doesn't look like there's anything special, but what Dr. Prasad has done has truly just been remarkable in what he's combined, what he's formulated. It's one of the most powerful products, I think, in the world right now. The way that it has the ability to detoxify the body with high levels of antioxidants, deliver vitamin E succinate across the blood-brain barrier, is just unbelievable. My favorite is this one with CBD, the Micro Daily Plus, or the CBD Boost, all extracted from hemp. So you just can't go wrong with those products. CBD is phenomenal because every cell in our body has CBD receptors. Your body wants CBD. Good for anxiety, good for thyroid, good for convulsions, good for epilepsy, good for all kinds of things. The Micro Daily EMF, if you're exposed to high levels of radiation, which we all are because of carrying around cell phones, but particularly if they're putting up 5G towers in your area, or if you live near high power lines, you want to make sure that you're using the Micro Daily EMF version of it. It's a little more expensive. It's $69 versus the Micro Daily Original which is only $49.99 versus $69.99. So just outstanding products. And by the way, just as a reminder, some people have asked the question, when they take these two products, please keep in mind that the microdaily EMF, a single dose is 3 capsules, not 2. It's 3 capsules because Dr. Prasad added 4 more ingredients, and all those 4 ingredients could not fit into 2 capsules. So they had to go with 3 capsules to get a dose. So you take 3 capsules twice a day, not 2 capsules. Take 3 capsules twice a day to get the correct amount. But of the microdaily regular or the original, you take 2 capsules twice a day. Now, if you have a health problem, or if you're starting to get some mileage on you, like I am, in a couple months, I'll be 59. But about this year, in my 58th year, I noticed that I had to start taking extra. I had to take 3 capsules twice a day of the regular. That's the one that I take. In fact, I take the regular and the CBD. So let's see if I can get that picture. Yeah, the CBD Microdaily Plus is the one I take. So I take 3 of these at night just before I go to sleep, and I take 3 of the regular during the day in the morning. And it's best with meals, but I take these 3 just before I'm going to sleep, and I haven't had a meal, and it doesn't create a problem for me. I take those just before I go to sleep. I sleep like a baby. So these 2 here just happen to be my favorite combination of the 2, but it puts me in a much deeper sleep at night when I take the Microdaily Plus when I go to sleep. That one's $99 if you buy it on subscription, and the Microdaily with CoQ10 or the original is $49.99 if you buy it on subscription. You pay more if you just want to buy it on a one-time basis, but it's cheaper if you buy it on subscription. And remember, the EMF is $69.99 if you buy it on subscription. That's the best way to get it. So you buy it as a preferred customer, get back to the person who invited you to this discussion, and they'll help you to set up your subscription. If you're interested in the business associated with Microdaily, the company is called Engage Global. The person who invited you to this discussion can also help you to set up an account so that you can become a health advocate. All right, so that's it's very simple. Just go back to whoever invited you here, and they will help you with that. This company has some of the best, highest quality nutrition supplements on the face of the earth right now. I've been in this industry now for well over 30 plus years. I didn't take it seriously my first 5 or 10 years. I was just learning things in the first 5 or 10 years, and I was doing other things. But by the time 2004, 2005 came along, it was a whole different story, because at that point, I realized just how little information there is out there and how much we have not been told on the subject of nutrition, and how much we've not been told about how lacking our food is in nutritional content. And in some cases, how it's dangerous, the food itself. So after doing searching all over and using so many different products, I can't tell you, every month someone approaches me about some new products that are out there. There's thousands of them, millions probably, but these are the best. And the other ones that I mentioned to you that are on the website, amerixbio.com, AMERXbio.com. And by the way, there's going to be a combination of the ImmuneRx products, the spray and the powder. We're going to put together a combo there so that you can get a discount on it if you decide to buy the 2 together. So if you decide to buy the 2 together, AmeriXbio.com is the website, AMERXBIO.com. Use the coupon code COVID-19 CARE, and you'll get a 25% discount if you buy both of them together. 25% discount on those 2 products, the ImmuneRx products. COVID-19 CARE, no spaces, and you get a discount on the product. All about improving immune system and the gut. Okay, so we're going to pause here and take time now to answer some of your questions and see if there's and hear your stories. We like to hear if anyone's been having any benefits from any of the Engage Global products, Micro Daily, or anything else, we're happy to hear your stories. James and Angelique Greer, first hand I see up.
I got a question because you mentioned about no gluten, period. And I was another doctor, Dr. Alan Christensen, who's all about the thyroid health. He was saying about traditional homemade sourdough bread. You can eat that because of the traditional way it's done, where the grains are fermented for so many, a couple of days or whatever.
Right.
Do you think that's true? That would be the only way you would be allowed to eat gluten because it's traditionally fermented.
Well, if that's a genetically modified wheat, okay, maybe. I don't know how or why, and I'd be interested in knowing why he feels that way. But everything that I know about gluten is that there's an extra protein was engineered into the wheat, and it's not natural. It's not there. And in my conversations with Dr. Nakuzi, Dr. Nakuzi says that our body can't break down. It takes months, if ever, our body breaks down that gluten. He says it builds up on the stomach lining like a paste. It's like glue, and it sticks there, and it reduces the nutrition absorption surface area in the stomach. So I don't know if the sourdough bread does that. I do know that I agree with you that fermented foods, anything that's fermented, and especially if it's been allowed to sprout, then it's much better. In fact, that's a fourth thing that I neglected to mention, is that the more fermented foods that you consume, the better for your gut biome. So things like sauerkraut is good. Anything that's just been fermented for a while, that's the absolute best thing that you could do. So that's interesting to hear. Please send me a link to any information on that you have, please, Angelique. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jonathan.
Absolutely. And Hazel, you have a question that you were trying to ask here.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, everyone.
I'm trying to change the screen here, Hazel, so that we can add you to the discussion. Okay, there we are.
Okay. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, everyone. My question is specifically about fermented food. My husband, I am giving him the Melaleuca probiotic, but that's costing me an arm and a leg because it's $20 for the month. And so me and Rebecca, by the way, Rebecca is my daughter. She's
Yes.
she's helping me with the business and she's doing great. So Rebecca and I, we eat, especially her, she eats the homemade sauerkraut. And then me, I eat sauerkraut, but also homemade kimchi. So is that enough or do we need more? And if we can survive with just the homemade sauerkraut and kimchi, how much a day do we need to consume?
The amounts, I can't tell you that I'm sure of. I'm not sure of the amounts, but I do know that homemade sauerkraut and that homemade kimchi, that's some of the best things that you could be putting in your body. Absolutely, no question about it. So the more natural and the more homemade, the better. So yeah, if you're not having any problems and your body's processing foods, then yeah, you don't need to worry about adding additional probiotics. And if you're cutting out the GMO, if you're cutting out the glyphosate, because remember, it's the glyphosate that's killing off good bacteria in your gut. So do the research and find out what foods contain the trace amounts of glyphosate. You don't want weed killer in any amount going into your body. So the more you reduce your toxic load, the more that you increase your good bacteria, the more that you increase antioxidants in your body to remove toxins from your body, the healthier you'll be.
Okay, so it's enough. It seems like you're
Sounds like it's
saying
enough.
it's enough. I don't need to take another probiotic store bought plus kimchi and
Probably
sauerkraut.
not. Probably not.
Okay.
What you might want to consider doing is maybe adding a prebiotic.
Oh, okay. I never thought of that.
Yeah,
But
you may consider that because the prebiotic is feeding your good bacteria.
okay, okay, I don't know much about that. I just know about probiotic, and I'm just so thankful I know how to do kimchi, which is it's a lot of work, and blah blah blah. It's just a lot of work. But the
Mhm.
sauerkraut, Rebecca is handling it. It's not her favorite, but I'm making her eat. But my husband is a fight, so I'm like, $20 a month versus $5. I said, you're not helping. He said, but I make all the money, so just deal with it.
Well, I happen to like sauerkraut if I can get it, but we don't make it naturally, and it is a lot easier just to buy that, take that little pill out of the refrigerator. I've been doing that raw Garden of Life one, I think, the raw colon one. That's the one I've been doing lately.
Okay.
Unbelievable. I mean,
Okay.
they really are nice in what they're doing.
Okay.
So, but keep us
Yeah.
posted on how that's working out, please.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. I'll give you the recipe for sauerkraut. It's very easy. Rebecca did it. Rebecca does it. You just need to massage the cabbage and
Hmm.
just salt and cabbage and just leave it fermenting. And you taste it every day. Depends on how sour you want it, and then just put it in the fridge. And that's all. Salt and cabbage. But
Oh
I'll
wow.
I'll share the recipe. Yep. And
Okay.
it's like a $5 cabbage, man.
Mm,
$5.
beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody heard it. When she sends over the recipe, I'll email it out to everybody. So, and in
Yes.
fact, we'll post it on the website. So thank you very much for that, Hazel.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's see here. Where's my mouse? Veronica. Veronica has a question she wants to ask. Go ahead, Veronica.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, everyone. My
Very good.
question is from my sister-in-law. She's going to take her second COVID shot. She wants to take the micro daily, but she's thinking that it would be too much if she starts the micro daily and she got to go take her shot. It might be too much of an explosion, I guess, for her body. I don't know.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't want to to burst her bubble or to make her feel uncomfortable. Obviously, the decision is her own as to what she chooses to do, but there's no contraindication with microdaily. Um, if she wants to give her body the best chances of being able to deal with anything, including the side effects of any pharmaceutical drug, then she would be wise to put microdaily in her body. It would not overload her body. It's the best thing her body ever happened to her body. So she should be sucking it down like her life depends on it. That's my recommendation.
Okay. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Definitely will not hurt her with if she's taking the vaccines. Microdaily will not hurt her. It would actually help her.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question, though. Sonia, go ahead, please.
Yes, I just have a question from someone who is interested in taking the microdaily. She wants to know because she's allergic to propylene glycol. So I know as far as the formulation, there's nothing preservative there. It's just natural. But I'm just thinking of the capsule. It's vegetarian, but I do not know because this preservative is used in foods and whatever as well. So I just want to make sure before I send her something that this propylene glycol is not in the capsule.
It I know it's not listed on the label, and I know that what causes the green color is chlorophyll, so it's all natural. But if she is in the least bit concerned about the capsule, because my wife can't process the capsules, and my mother-in-law, they can't process them. So I don't have my wife swallow the capsules at all. She opens them up, puts them in water, and she drinks it that way. So just don't swallow the capsule, or go with the hydro. The hydro version of it does not have any preservatives in it. It's the same exact thing. You just put it in a bottle of water, shake it up and drink it.
Okay. Okay, I'll suggest that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you for your question. Okay, we have one more here. Jaya White is wanting to ask a question. So go ahead, please.
Yes. Hi, it's actually Jaya. But
Hey,
I
okay,
also
yeah.
have a potential customer who wants to buy some micro dailies, but she just bought some vitamins. So I want to know, is she able to take the vitamins along with the micro dailies?
We don't recommend it because the vitamins, Dr. Prasad's formula is the result of decades of research, and it's very precisely balanced. If she's taking additional vitamins along with it, she literally could be throwing off the formula and reducing the efficacy of the micro daily. If she insists on taking the other vitamins because she just purchased them, I would recommend that she just take them, and then instead of ruining the benefits of the micro daily, I would hold it and do it later. That would be my recommendation.
Okay, I'll tell her.
And but I tell other folks that what you might want to consider doing, the first option would be just take the micro daily by itself. And if after she uses up the micro daily and she doesn't feel like it's benefiting her, then go back to her other vitamins, put them in the refrigerator so that they don't oxidize or start to degrade. It'll make them last longer. But I think she should just jump on the micro daily, because the benefits of micro daily far outweigh any cost of those vitamins. Far outweigh. So I would highly recommend the sticking with the micro daily more than anything. Okay. Dolores has a question or a story you'd like to tell us.
I have a question. I have a customer on the at the meeting, and she wants you to talk a little bit more about micro daily and helping with diabetes.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's as far as help with the diabetes, we've done entire segments on that, and there's an entire discussion on my YouTube channel. So just go to youtube.com/Jonathan Jones, and you can hear that entire discussion. But I can say this: if a person is, depending on how bad of a diabetic they are, type 2, some people have actually gotten to a point where they no longer, their doctor told them that they didn't want them on their medication in type 2, and the doctors have begun to slowly reduce the medication. So, but take 3 capsules with every meal, and they'll find themselves better able to deal with foods and sugars in their body. Their body will process it better. We had one gentleman, I think I was in Albany, Georgia, that stood up at a meeting, and he said he just barely took a couple of doses of micro daily, and his A1C dropped like 2 points. It was the most mind-boggling thing to hear that man say that. But people's A1C has been improving dramatically with adding this nutrient to their body. So the patent that Dr. Prasad received for the original formula, military micronutrient formulation, spells out in detail, how and why this is a good supplement to add to any diabetic's diet. He mentioned when I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago that women over 40 should add magnesium and calcium to their diet, in addition to micro daily, when it comes to diabetes as well. So I hope that helps a little bit, and drink lots of water. Anyone who's taking micro daily, make sure you drink plenty of water. The correct amount of water is 8. No, I was getting ready to say 8 glasses a day, and that's not true.
No, it's not true.
It's half your body weight in ounces. That's the correct amount. I've heard people just spit that 8 glasses a day out so many times where it was about to come out of my mouth. But it's half the body weight in ounces. So if a person weighs, say, 150 pounds, they need 75 ounces of water per day. And coffee does not count as water. Coffee is a deficit. So if you drink 8 ounces of coffee, that 75 ounces of water that you need now just became 83 ounces of water. So you got to offset every cup of coffee with a glass of water to if you take it. Plus, you have to have your 50% of your half your body weight in ounces of water per day. And don't just say I drink plenty of water, because too much water is bad, just as bad as not enough water. So especially for diabetics as well.
Hey, Jonathan, your video is off.
My video is off?
Yeah.
I see you.
Oh, really?
Oh, I can't see it.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jonathan.
Okay. But thanks for the heads up there in case it was off, Alfreda. I hope that
No,
helps
your-
out, Dolores.
Your
Thanks a
voice
lot.
is there, but your mouth is not moving.
Okay.
I can't see you.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, we see you on our end, but your pictures.
Oh, there you go.
I saw a picture. I don't see you.
That's kind of strange.
I can't see you either now.
Your name.
That is so strange. I wonder what's going on here.
Yeah.
The picture froze, but we could see the picture that was froze. Now we don't see anything now.
It's just not working, huh? So my computer's just, my computer needs some antioxidants.
Yeah. Yeah, now it's, yeah. Oh, well, technology.
Still not working right, huh?
There you go.
Now we see you, Jonathan.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Okay, I thought we were at the last question now. What happened here? Belinda Washington.
Yes, Brother Jonathan, how you doing today? Kind of had two questions, but I just asked the first one. A relative of mine, they have a friend that has hemorrhoids and bleeding, and but they have refused to have the surgery. And what they're doing to better it, they're eating gluten-free and organic, and but the lady has taken an infusion that has cost her like $1,000 for that, to help with the hemorrhoids and stuff and the bleeding.
Here's a suggestion if she wants to save a little bit of money, is
Okay.
buy that ImmuneRx, the powder and the spray.
ImmuneRx, okay.
Mhm. Yeah, the powder and the spray, and apply it directly to the swollen hemorrhoids.
Powder and spray.
Yep, spray it on there like 3 times a day, and put the paste right on there. Just make it nice and make the paste wet with the ImmuneRx and put it right on there, and just have it on there for as long as they can have it on there. It'll reduce the inflammation, it will reduce the swelling, and it will stop the bleeding and heal up any sores.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, so it's pretty amazing what that stuff does.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Another question
Jonathan.
I learned from the other people.
Jonathan,
Yes.
my name is Geneva, and this is my first time on your segment. And I've been having constipation issues for, might as well say, a lifetime. But anyway, I use supplements like the Miralax
Mhm.
or
Calms and magnesium.
yeah, not the magnesium, but I used to use the pills, but they didn't really work that well. So one of the things that I'm using right now is Miralax. So what would you suggest that will help regulate the bowel?
There's no question that the ImmuneRx will do that. The bovine colostrum.
The what now?
The bovine colostrum, ImmuneRx, it will absolutely help to correct that, along with microdaily. There was one woman who she never even got the bovine colostrum, and she just was taking microdaily. This woman would have a bowel movement like once every 2 or 3 weeks, and microdaily by itself reversed the problem for her. But ImmuneRx the bovine colostrum, it restores normal colon muscle movement all by itself. It's a colostrum is incredible for what it does. So I would highly recommend that you get the ImmuneRx powder and add that to your diet. I would be doing about 6 scoops a day. If you hit to the point where you're having diarrhea, then just start backing off after that. But you can't overdose on it. It's the most amazing thing, and it restores natural colon function, not like magnesium. Magnesium just adds water and makes the stool soft. But
Right. How do you spell that word? Did you say it?
ImmuneRx, IMMUNRX. It's at the website. You find it on the website amerixbio.com. AMERXBIO.com.
Okay.
Yeah, you want the powder. It's it's amazing what it does. I'm going to see if I can put up on the screen here yeah, I only have a picture of the liquid, the spray, but I'm just going to put that up on the screen here so you can at least see that. Hopefully you can see that. So the powder is it's little 200 gram canister, and it's amazing what it does. It's unbelievable, how those two works. And add some fiber to your diet. One of the fibers that you could go with is flax. Fresh ground flax would also be very, very good to add to your diet. And if you are not taking a probiotic, you want to get that Garden of Life probiotic for colon health. Go on Amazon.com and you can find that one. I think it's called Garden of Life. And you want the one for this raw colon health. It's organic and raw. Okay? It's only about $20. But you can send me an email too if you'd like to, Genevieve, and I'll try to remember to give you the details on that. I hope she's still with us. My email address is jonathan@hcstraaa.com. Look at that. I put .org on the screen.
For me, Jonathan.
I'm sorry?
Can you give it to me again? Because my phone went on mute.
Okay, yeah, the email is jonathan@hcstraaa.com.
At H what now?
Are you able to see the screen on your computer?
Yeah.
You see me?
Yes, you.
Okay, yeah, right there. It's HCSAAA. We just make it .com instead of .org.
.com, okay.
You see it? So jonathan@hcstraaa.com.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Samantha has a question.
Hi, yes. So my question is around children, young children, like preteen, still babies, like 8 years old, 6 years old. So my children, I have them, taking, I do vitamin C, but I don't really do a multivitamin because I try to get them what they need through their food. They don't really have any kind of health complications or anything like that. But I was wondering about the micro daily for them. Is it safe? Maybe not giving them every day. I don't know. Is it good to use it once every other day, or how frequent is that an option for them to? Yeah.
How old did you say they are?
8 and 6.
Yeah, just give them one capsule twice a day. That's half the adult dose. Now, mind you, infants have been taking the full adult dose. Infants. The gentleman that introduced me to the product, he and his wife were giving their grandchild a full packet of hydro once or twice a day. Hydro. And I have a picture of her drinking it out of a baby bottle. But one capsule twice a day will be fine for a child. And I highly, highly, highly recommend it, especially dealing with the atmosphere, the pandemic atmosphere that we're in right now. Highly recommend it.
Okay. And someone made mention about the something for eyesight, because I know that like we all wear glasses. And so is that too something that
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Prasad has produced a formula called Eye Boost, and it has the highest amount of oxidative stresses on the eyes. It also has very high levels of glutathione. So whenever our eyes are in trouble, usually it's because of inflammation associated with the eyes. So he has an eye boost that adds additional components that's nutritious for the eyes and reduces inflammation and increases circulation in the eyes. And many are benefiting from it already. In their test, they saw dramatic improvements. So the eye boost is very good. For the children, again, a half dose. For an adult, do the full dose, whatever is recommended on the bottom.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your question. Estelito has a question.
Yes, Jonathan. Yeah. One of my customer, he's very sensitive to like taking vitamins, and when he tried to take the micro daily EMF, 2 capsules, or yeah, he started with 2 capsules, and he said it was like floating in the air. He get high. He gets high. So I said to him, well, maybe you could reduce it. So he reduced it, and he only takes 1 capsule 3 times a day, and he's okay with it. Is that? But the recommendation, Dr. Prasad said, is 3 capsules, right?
Yeah. He can break it up and just take less until his body can handle it. So he's clearly having trouble processing it. So yeah, just let him take the lower dose until his body can handle it, and make sure he's having it with food.
With food, yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way for him. Something in his stomach, and then take it. And then hopefully after about a month or two, he should be able to increase the dose. Maybe one of his doses can go to 2 capsules and the others can stay to 1 until he can just gradually increase himself up to the correct amount.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. I'll tell him that.
You're very welcome. No problem at all. I see 2 additional people here.
With Sonia, this should be Sonia.
Yeah, I see Sonia, and I see
Sonia Anthony would be next. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. And I see Hazel also. Go ahead, Sonia. Let's hear from Sonia.
Okay, good afternoon. I have a customer who is recovering from COVID, her and her husband. What would you recommend for them?
That's recovering from COVID.
Yes.
I would highly recommend that that they go on the micro daily, and I would go with micro daily plus. One of the scientists and researchers have shown that the virus not only throws the immune system into a tailspin by triggering cytokine storm, it can also lay dormant and do damage to organs that manifests itself sometime later. But one of the ways that it does damage is it also disrupts the cannabinoid system.
Okay.
It does damage. So when you add the microdaily plus, then you're actually feeding the cannabinoid system with the CBD. So I would go with microdaily plus if at all possible, if they can afford it. If they can't afford it, then just go with as much of the regular microdaily as possible. I would do at least 3 capsules twice a day, and then maybe add the CBD boost to it. But I would be adding CBD to it if you're a COVID-19 survivor.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then the other one, my cousin has bladder cancer, stage 4. They said that it is progressing to his bone. There was a spot on his bone that they said did show that it was cancerous now. So trying to figure out what else to do. He's been on microdaily.
Mhm.
Not sure how consistent.
How much microdaily has he been taking?
He was supposed to be taking 3 of the regular microdaily powder
Mhm.
twice a day.
Right. Right. Okay.
But I'm not sure if he's been consistent with that.
Mhm. Right. And did he take any other treatment? Did he get chemotherapy and radiation or
No,
anything? He did
no.
not. Yeah, then he would be wise, depending on how much you can afford. You know, the budget is an important thing, but I would go to 666 protocol right away. That's 6 capsules 3 times a day. And if he can afford it, I would switch straight to DNA 136, and then he could change his whole circumstance. You're talking about resetting the
DNA
body.
636,
DNA 136.
136.
Yeah, you can. There's a video on my YouTube channel. Dr. Prasad talks about it in detail.
Okay.
I mean, Dr.
Dr. Nakuzi, excuse me, I'm getting them all mixed up.
Okay, okay. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Nakuzi does a lecture on DNA 136. So it's right there on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
But everything depends on, a person's budget and what they're able to, to do. It's unfortunate that most natural approaches to fighting abnormal cells, the insurance companies just don't pay for it.
Right.
They want to fight fire with fire, and that's what they'll pay for. They don't want to fight fire with water.
Right. So with the micro daily, which one, still stay with the powder or go? You said tablets too, so
Yeah, no, if he prefers the powder, that's fine. It's one stick of hydro is the same as 2 capsules. So when I said
okay.
666, I was talking about 6 capsules 3 times a day. So that would be 3 hydro 3 times a day would be the same.
3 times
So
a day.
9.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
taking 9, total of 9.
And
Okay.
just so you know, anecdotally, I don't have firsthand knowledge of this, that there's a doctor down in Puerto Rico that swears that hydro takes care of things like that. 2 packets,
Really?
2 packets every 2 hours.
Okay.
So I don't know who the doctor is, but I just heard this secondhand.
Okay.
And that's
Thank
how
you.
he feels. Two packets of hydro every 2 hours. So that would be probably about the same, right? No, if you do that for like 6 hours a day, so it's even more than 9. So take it to an even higher level. So I've never tried that, and I'd be curious to see how that works. So please make sure you feed back to us any information on that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Hazel Lee?
Yes, I forgot to ask my very important question, Jonathan, because I got excited with that recipe. So my important question is, and I'm just gonna tell you guys this, but do not ever tell my parents if they get into this webinar, okay?
Yep.
So I am taking something for my sugar. I don't like to say the word D because I'm still going to fix this thing.
Yep.
I had a very high A1C, and the question for me, and maybe you guys can help me, is because I started being very, very good with the diet. Actually, we went on keto since October.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started micro daily with the CoQ10, which is the one that you want to be called regular. I started it. This is just my second bottle. So it's a month and a half, right? And then I just took my A1C, and my doctor is very, very, very happy with the result. So I
I
lost
bet he
almost,
is.
yeah, almost 3 points. And I'm gonna tell you specific. I was on the high 10 something, and now it's only 7 point something. And he's
On
very,
the
very
first
happy.
bottle.
Well, Jonathan, that is my question to you, because I lost 15 pounds also. My question to myself is, did I lose my numbers in A1C because I lost 15 pounds and I went on keto with no sugar and carb, or because of the micro daily? That is my question.
I
What
can tell
happened?
you, that most likely it was a combination of both that
Okay.
contributed to it. Because micro daily, there's no question that micro daily causes A1Cs to drop. We have seen that repeatedly. But there's also no question that losing weight and removing sugar from your diet will cause your A1C to go down. If you want to bump it down a little more, add dandelion tea to your diet.
Oh, okay. Where do you get that?
Anywhere. Go dig it out your backyard. I mean, dandelion grows everywhere.
Oh, okay. I did not know that, but I
Mhm.
want to be safe. I don't want to get poisoned from the backyard. But
Yeah, that
then
probably has Roundup on it in the yard.
see? But also I heard you say something about for people with the D word to take 3 pills each meal. Right now I'm only taking 2 in the morning and 2 at night.
It'll change your life if you increase that to 3.
3 on each meal, so that's a total of 9.
Or you could just do it twice a day. If you're able to control your sugar levels with just taking it twice a day, fine. We usually will recommend the third time because some people aren't being quite as diligent as you are. Some people playing around. They're trying to, take care of their D problem with chocolate cake.
Yeah, I understand.
You've made the adjustment, so you've made all the other adjustments, so you'll be fine just taking 3 twice a day. So you'll be okay.
3 twice a day. Okay. And then you said for the people with the D word, again, you said add magnesium and calcium. Don't we get that with the micro daily already, or do we take that separately?
I asked Dr. Prasad about that. I said, why did you put that in the patent? He said, women just need more. After they get past age 40, they need more.
Okay, so extra magnesium and calcium with another company.
Correct.
Is that
Yeah.
what I'm understanding?
Yeah, just
Okay.
get a high quality one someplace. The company Immunotech makes the best calcium I've ever found. So if you find some Immunotech distributor, get their calcium. Their calcium is extracted from milk. It's really good. Highly bioavailable.
Okay.
Highly absorbable. They don't make a magnesium, but their calcium is the best on the planet.
Okay.
You can, in fact, you can talk to Alfreda about that. She can help you get the calcium from Immunotech.
Yes, that's expensive. I already got rid of my Immunical subscription because I can't afford it anymore.
Okay.
And I switched to Micro Daily. So maybe I am with Melaleuca, as I've mentioned. Let me see what they have, because Melaleuca is also good company.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're good. They probably make a good calcium also. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
So we have Sonia.
Yeah. Okay, is that for me? Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
just quickly.
Add her to the spotlight.
Yeah, talking about the magnesium and calcium again, for someone who has diabetes, can that be taken with micro daily? Won't it have a?
No, Dr. Prasad said add that. He said that's a good thing to supplement his formula with, the calcium and magnesium.
Okay, so you don't have to wait like 2 hours after taking the micro daily?
It won't throw his formula off. He said that's a good thing for women over 40.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think if I remember, I know I have another question, but I think that has been addressed. Okay. Thank you.
You can always send the emails too.
Okay. I'll send it to you.
Who's next, Alfreda? Catherine?
Yes.
Let's unmute you, Catherine.
It's about the magnesium. Magnesium comes in a citrate and an aspartate. Which would be the best? You know, they have different.
That I'm not sure.
Okay.
He didn't specify, and I wasn't looking at the patent at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I can't specify on that, but I've heard, I mean, some have said that the citrate is more absorbable, but you'd have to just go ahead and Google that one.
Okay, thank you.
Quite welcome. Belinda, Washington.
Well,
Yes.
actually,
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Belinda. Timothy hasn't, we're trying to let everybody that hasn't had a chance to ask a question
Okay,
yet.
well,
So Timothy Robinson.
Timothy,
How you
where are
doing,
you?
John? How are you doing? Yeah, I have a question. When you take the micro daily, is it best to take it with fluid? And yeah, I mean with fluid, but also with a meal or without, because sometimes the stomach can have a little irritation. So which is best?
Much better with a meal for most people. Some people have no problems taking it on an empty stomach.
Right.
But Dr. Prasad recommends taking it with a meal. And my personal experience is it's better to take it with a meal.
Okay, I appreciate that.
That's also because there are some of the vitamins are not water soluble and they are oil soluble. So that's why the food helps to dissolve them.
Okay.
Very
But
good.
definitely food.
Thank you, Tim.
Okay, I'm trying to get some more of that.
Excellent. And Emma Catalanello.
Yes, I found out about you through Lorraine Barrio Nuevo.
Ah, yes.
And for many, many years, I've had incontinence. In the last 3 months, it's been heavier. So what do you suggest I take?
Absolutely. Get on the micro daily, and I would recommend that you go with 3 capsules at least twice a day, but I would also suggest that you add the ImmuneRx spray.
What is the other word, the last word you said?
The ImmuneRx. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see it.
Okay.
That's what we were talking about before, was that
Yes.
ImmuneRx spray, just in case, you know, it may be connected to some sort of immune system or bacterial issue.
I see.
This will help the immune system find any bacteria that might be contributing to the problem. So, but and I don't know if any of the women that are on the call have heard of any experiences with anyone with incontinence, but I haven't so far. No one has mentioned it, but I know that if there's an organ in the body that's not functioning properly, the bladder or whatever, micro daily will benefit that. If it does not do it, doing 3 capsules twice a day, then you might have to increase that to a 4th capsule twice a day. So the higher the dosages, the better.
So you have 2 kinds of micro daily?
Yeah, there's actually 4 kinds of micro daily. Yeah, there's actually 4 kinds. So you could just go with the micro daily, the original formula. I'll contact you and connect you up and make sure that you get the right one. Okay.
Yes.
I'll contact you after
I heard in the last meeting that someone mentioned that
Say that again.
the best water to drink is Fuji, F-U-J-I, right?
F-I-J-I, Fiji, yes,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's one of the best. Or if you can get an alkaline water, a natural alkaline water, if you can get that, that's also a good water. And I think Trader
All
Joe's carries a good natural alkaline water.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. So, but we'll try to
Okay, thank you
I'm gonna try to-
very much.
okay, I'm going to try to give you a call in a couple of hours, okay?
Sure.
You're very welcome. And now we circle back to Belinda. This is our last question.
Okay, where's a load? I have a couple of people up here. They're not able to ask. Well, anyway, they are concerned about MS. The other one is about the eyes. You know, Microdaily has something that can help with that. And the third question asking about the lymphedema, swelling in the legs.
Oh yeah, lymphedema and
Yeah.
swelling. Yeah. Microdaily will help as a baseline.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. It will help with the eyes by itself. It will help with MS is very complicated. MS is a mitochondrial disorder, and when the mitochondria is being attacked, it's usually because of elevated free radicals. So using Microdaily will be a very good first step in dealing with MS. But in all cases, ImmuneRx spray should be part of the conversation. ImmuneRx spray should be part of the discussion. Now, when it comes to lymphedema, write this down. There's a product that's been formulated by Dr. Nakuzi that is the absolute best for that. And that's a lymphatic flush. Lymphaticflush.com is the website. Lymphatic, or the same website, amerixbio.com. It'll go to the same place, but that's where you can get that product. It's called Lymphatic Flush.
Okay.
And it will help the lymphatic system move along because something has clogged it or infected it. So that's the question, is to figure out, is there some infection? And that's the reason why ImmuneRx is so important, because it'll help, that will help the immune system find it.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And remember, send an email and you can ask specific questions about any of that stuff, and I'll guide you on that, okay?
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
You're very welcome. That was the last question, but I don't recognize the name Arnish, so we're going to let Arnish sneak in with one more question here.
The question that I have is, she's talking about the MS. My mother has MS, but she's 92 years old. Can she take that?
Absolutely. She should take it. Yeah, she absolutely should. Is she still walking?
No, she's not walking.
Yeah, it may not get her up to running a 5K, but it'll slow the progression of it down. And the reason I mention ImmuneRx with respect to MS is we had a client about 7 years ago or so, and she was dying with MS. In fact, the doctors pretty much gave her a couple of weeks to live. She was her muscles in her throat just weren't working properly anymore. So the doctor said in about 2 weeks it's going to start sending food into her lungs, and she was going to suffocate. So that's what they fully expected to happen. But she wanted to go on something that was very expensive. In fact, it cost about $150, per box for this other thing. But they didn't have that kind of a budget. So all she did was get on ImmuneRx, the spray.
Oh, the spray, okay.
Cleared it right up. She lived like another 3 years after that. I don't know why she stopped taking it, but she did.
Oh, okay.
She
That's
did
what I
not
wanted.
die in 2 weeks. Because MS can be rooted in a bacterial infection as well. It can have a problem, that's precipitated with the immune system. But anyway, it's all immune function anyway. And ImmuneRx makes the immune system smarter. So when you add Microdaily plus ImmuneRx together, it's an amazing combination.
Yeah, because I have two more. I got two of my nieces, they have it, but they are walking and everything. So
get them on the ImmuneRx right away and keep them on Microdaily.
Okay, I'll call them today. Okay, thank you.
You're quite welcome. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for your questions, and we appreciate your being here with us today. We've gone a little bit long, but I don't like to leave anybody's questions hanging if we can avoid it. And because I know that your time is important and you made the sacrifice to be here. So I'm going to try to stay as long as I can to answer your questions. So, but for the record, again, remember that testimonials that you've heard here today, all anecdotal. We don't know the clinical circumstances around it. And this conference, this discussion is for educational purposes only. I am not a medical doctor and don't ascribe to be one and never will. But I'm providing this information so that you can take into consideration other factors that may help you in your health and wellness choices. Our company is the Healthcare Support Association of America. So our goal is we brought a team of doctors and medical professionals together, and they help us answer questions like this and give support. If you do want specific protocols written, go to the website, hcsaaa.com or .org. You see it there on the screen, hcsaaa.com or .org, and click on Start, and then look for the button Support. So when you click on Start, it takes you to a page, and then there's 3 links on that page. Support will be on the left side of the screen. I don't know how you see it on my screen here, but it'll be on the left side of the screen. And then click on that and fill that form out. That gives our medical professionals a snapshot of your situation, and then we'll give you a customized protocol to help you to maybe add some supplements that may help your doctor that's helping you. It's all about working with the doctor that's trying to help you. That's what our objective is with this organization, Healthcare Support Association of America. So for the record, once again, my name is Jonathan Jones. It's been my pleasure and privilege to have been your host and moderator for today. Join us again next week. We're going to be talking more about this pandemic situation that we're dealing with right now. So that's the direction we're going to be going back in, because so many folks are asking questions about what to do. Are there some suggestions as far as vaccinating or not? What's happened, to some folks. We have done 4 parts on it so far, so I highly recommend that you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jonathan Jones, and look at those other videos. Some of that's been quite revealing. There's pros and cons, and we want to try to help you to sort through all of those issues as well. Okay, so I'm going to stick around for a brief business meeting for a few minutes with you folks. I want to cover a couple things about the compensation plan with Engage Global. So if you guys want to stick around for a few minutes, for any who are interested in the business, then I'm going to stick around and do a brief business meeting for any who are interested in that part of our discussion. For the rest of